Hello and welcome to Bytes, a short look into the experiences from our cyber assessments team, discussing missed or perhaps misunderstood common recommended improvements, providing advice and guidance around why they can bring value to your business.
Hi, welcome to Bytes. I'm Matt Helling.
I'm Adam Luca.
And today we're going to talk to you about pen testing. So Adam, what's the problem?
So pen testing is one of these areas that we see a lot of customers struggling with. I think it's one of those things that there's two challenges. The first one is customers think that it's quite difficult to scope. It's quite difficult to understand what they're going to get as an outcome. Often I think there's a perceived maturity level that you've got to be, this big or this size to start to do pen testing or to be effective. So I think that's one challenge. The other side of it is, the skills and availability of people to do it. Most organizations are outsourcing pen testing to third parties, and it can often be quite expensive, I think, for organizations who aren't clear about the value.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Why do you think people need to do pen testing though, Matt?
I'll put it down as probably a best practice for most organizations. I think it's important to test your perimeter as a start. There's a lot of value in vulnerability scanning, but I think pen testing brings it to the next level, and it does that active penetration of those organizations. In addition, anything like web application testing and ensuring that your platforms that you're running are secure is a really, really important step for organizations to take. You can do it on numerous frequencies, whether annually or quarterly or monthly, depends on your organization. But from our perspective, when you're looking at cyber maturity, it's a really, really important step for customers to take.
It's like I think bringing it and making it real, do you know what I mean? That pen testing suddenly takes it out of the world of just doing scanning and looking for the obvious stuff and starts to bring in a more advanced simulation of what an attacker would do. And it surfaces slightly different, different gaps that potentially vulnerability doesn't cover.
Yeah, completely agree. And what do you think customers should be doing?
I think the first thing I would think about is understand what the scope is. So what's the outcome? I think that a lot of people who, you mentioned go into pen testing because of best practice. We just need to get an IT health check or we do a pen test. And I think those are the ones that don't get the value from it because they're not actually sitting there and going, what am I trying to learn from this experiment? What am I trying to get from this scenario? So we've taken an approach where we've taken scenario-based testing. So we've actually said, what am I trying to prove? Am I trying to look at how secure is my perimeter from an external threat? Am I trying to look at how secure is my internal perimeter from an internal lateral movement? Or alternatively, am I trying to look at, actually, here's a third-party service that is delivering some sort of API as part of my application. Am I trying to test that scenario? So again, coming with that scenario-based testing approach can really increase the value of something that potentially is something on people's list that they just have to do rather than they're getting value.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And do you think there's a bad perception on pen testing in the market these days?
Oh, 100%. I think pen testing is seen as money for old rope. There's always that old adage of kind of you pay for a consultant to read your watch sort of thing. And I think it's because most people aren't using it in conjunction with vulnerability testing or automated testing. So often what happens is you have a pen tester come in, they, within 2 minutes own the environment, and they've really only told you stuff that you probably already knew, i.e. you're missing some patches or you've got some obvious insecure configuration, which might be valuable, but actually is probably an expensive way to find that out. So I think for organizations, they probably blame the tester. And I think that's probably sometimes unfair because actually if they change the methodology or the way they'd approach the test and actually close those more basic vulnerabilities down first, the tester's going to have to find more difficult things. They're going to have to find more advanced attacks, more difficult to locate problems. That means that the customer gets more value.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening to Bytes, and we'll leave it there.